absence affects all, based on what could be a true story. January 24th at almost, or you could say a bit past 8 in the morning. This sucks. I can't believe I overslept. I'm gonna miss school. Well, there's no point in asking my parents to drive me. The only thing I suppose I can do is open my laptop and look for any work that I have to do for the day. If there's any physical assessments, I will be positively fucked. I can only pray that I hadn't missed anything important. Crap! This would mean that things won't be as organized as I would leave them in class. Damn it. 8:52 in the morning. I can only imagine what my friends are saying. Where's name? They know I'm not the kid to miss a day of school. Friend 1 must be devastated I'm not there. Most of the others would sit there and wonder where I am. Gods, this is hell for me. Why did I stay up past 1 a.m.? I hate myself. 9:41 in the morning. I could care less that I was in that class. Learning about square roots and the Pythagorean theorem was educational and all, but my peers in that class weren't exactly the most disciplined. Some classes I'd rather stay out of, considering the energy the people inside could give off. Besides, I could just ask friend 2 or the teacher what we did yesterday. Damn. I'll be missing out on my favorite class too, it seems. 10:35 in the morning. I'm missing my exercise too. But damn. Friends 2, 3, and 4 must be wondering where I am. I can tell social interaction isn't as stable compared to when I'm there. Or I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I just know that I'll be one day less in shape. As stated earlier, this day feels like I'm rotting away in hell. I'm bored as fuck, and I don't exactly have the best stimulations to occupy me from missing out on school. 11:06 in the morning. If concerns are already high after 4th period, God knows what it'll be like during lunch. I already feel bad enough I won't get to see my brother after hours. He was the other highlight of my day besides friends 2 and 3. They are my down-to-earth team, as friend 2 describes. No references to whoever's watching this from my school, I swear to God. Technically, they aren't wrong. I describe them further as my escape from this generation. But I wonder how many texts I'm gonna get after school ends. My phone's probably gonna blow up. 11:17 in the morning. Friend 5 must be bored out of their mind. Aside from friends 6 and 7 talking on and on about the most ridiculous things ever, friend 5 doesn't find it as funny without someone to watch everything go down. I suppose that was the role I played. Even though I sit around in annoyance and do nothing, it made me happy to see them. Some may not have cared, but that was whatever. I may have preferred to see some over others. 11:41 in the morning. It would always be me speeding down the corridor. Friends 5, 6, and 7 would always struggle to keep up with me. Even pull me back by the backpack handle to catch up because I walked fast in their eyes. I laugh at the thought they walk to their classes in ease. But I think next period will be less entertaining for friend 5. 11:46 in the morning. Homeroom, community building, same thing. I really wished I was there. That was the one class aside from 4th I'd give up a lot of things to be in, my cooking class. It was fun, filled with the friends I love working with, and was a great class overall. I, again, wish that I was at school rather than being here, stuck at home. Sure, it gave me the opportunity to slack off and play games all day, but I liked the balance that the day gave me. A portion would be spent on my occupation, and the rest would be relaxing from then and maybe finding pleasure in games. But if it's just one thing, it gets boring. 1 in the afternoon. I never exactly found pleasure in science. I only have one friend there. The general class was quite loud as well. At the same time of me not paying attention to those dumbasses running their mouths, Work there was a bit of a challenge. Our teacher throws the textbook at us and expects us to know how to do it, considering we are the more advanced class. I suppose I have a stable grade, but my reasonings I provide in my work are not the greatest. 1:40 in the afternoon, the final class. The class which is filled with my friends. At the same time, they'd treat my absence like it was nothing. They would just take note of it briefly and move on. I would say that this class is okay. Just okay. It's loud, but it's more manageable than the rest. 2:27 in the afternoon. The halls roar with students talking. Everyone had one common goal once the day ended: to go home. I, on the other hand, had other priorities before that. I would always visit a teacher after hours that I looked up to as my brother. Thinking about what he would say to me the next day sounded a little disappointing. Even though our conversations were brief, it made me feel better when I got to hang out with him. It was like I was his after-school teacher assistant. It was the good note I would need at the end of every day in order to go home as the content person I was. Yet that all changed in the course of sleeping a bit more than expected. 4:12 in the afternoon. I waited for over an hour to see if my schoolmates were going to say anything to me about my absence. Nothing showed. I suppose I'll just talk to them about it tomorrow. January 25th, 8:04 in the morning. I apologized deeply to my teacher for my absence the other day. He didn't exactly understand why I was making a big deal out of missing out on a day of school. But if you were unaware, I take attendance very seriously. Since being in upper grade in primary school, I had perfect attendance for all of those years. It was a very big deal for me to carry that title throughout my growth. But that was besides the point. I sat down through the lesson and got any work done that I didn't do. 8:51 in the morning. Name. Where the fuck were you? You're like never absent. My absence plagued the minds of so many people. But at the same time, not so many. Perhaps being a good student while missing out on a day for the first time in forever didn't seem right. My history teacher was glad that I was back, as much as I was to see him. No further work had been discussed in my absence, just continuing work on an essay which I already finished. Friend 1 didn't say anything to me that day. 9:40. Nobody really cared that I was absent. The period just went on as normal. 10:30 in the morning. Thank the gods I was back. Friends 2, 3, and 4 questioned where I was, as expected. I just told them that I overslept that day and couldn't get my parents to drive me to school. I suppose everything else went well. I just thought about the attack I was going to get at lunch. 11:16 in the morning. Where the fuck have you been? Friend 6 walks over and sits down, completely disregarding me as they do so. Friend 5 comes over and says the same thing, yet they actually cared about my reasonings. So I then explained my absence after friend 7 sat down too, and friend 6 continues to say that whatever I'm talking about is irrelevant. I couldn't care less about friend 6's monkey game anyways. I just ate my lunch in peace as friends 6 and 7 squabble over the dumbest things. Friend 5 just looks at me like they know something's wrong, but I assured them that everything is fine. 11:45 in the morning. I catch up on work I didn't get to do yesterday. That's it, really. Nobody cared that I was absent in that class either. 12:55 in the afternoon. My friend was absent, so I didn't have anyone to explain my story to, and so I just did my work in silence. 1:40 in the afternoon. My friends acted like they were interrogating me about what happened yesterday. I found it quite funny and wholesome because they actually cared about me being there. Not like the other classes filled with self-absorbed students. The teacher caught me up on the work that was done yesterday and explained to me in detail. I nodded and got to work right away until class ended. 2:26 in the afternoon. I go to my brother's room and accompany him to the STEAM lab to cut out prototypes for our club. I apologized to him as well in terms of my absence yesterday. I felt really bad that I didn't talk to him yesterday or send him an email in regards to me not being there. He said it was fine, and it made me feel so much better about myself. I stuck around with him watching the laser cutter slice through the wood and waiting for my parent to alert me that they have arrived. When they came, I saw my brother off and walked to the front of the school to be picked up. I felt so much better after being able to catch up with everyone I didn't get the time to talk to yesterday. Other classes, not so much. But you know what I mean.